Hello, and welcome to my strategy simulation, the business scorecard. My name is Michael Westbrook, and I'm going to take you on a little journey of run through of the strategy simulation. First off, I wanted to say it's good to meet you, even though you're meeting me. Hopefully, it's good to meet me, I suppose. Hello, Professor Pearson, and thank you for the opportunity. So, with this strategy simulation, we're supposed to follow the balanced scorecard and all that we've learned so far, and we're supposed to be able to take a company and run it for 8 periods and sell it at the end and see how well we can do. Basically showing, were we able to choose good objectives based on our overall company goal? Were we able to initiatives and metrics that would help guide us in the right direction towards those goals? And with this game, we are supposed to also set that initiative and do something very specific with it. So, you cannot leave an initiative undone. If you pick, or not an initiative, if you pick an objective, you must work with it. Otherwise, it will affect you negatively. Here is my team, Tesla. I'm a lone man, so a one-man team, I suppose. I did go with the low lifetime cost strategy. I am a man that is normally around cost items and, not much in there for me and in terms of desire to ever run a company or work for a company that's in the luxury brand or frankly even just publicly traded. I want to do something that was kind of, I don't want to say around my wheelhouse, but just something that would really interest me and bring more of my personality into this play style and into this simulation game. Did want to have that lower lifetime cost, and so by lowering operational expenses and by lowering variable costs, I hope to increase my margins, my gross margin, my operating income margin, and increase sales by lower costs, hopefully lower prices in the future, and just bring home a better bottom line. And so I want to do that by being a company geared towards lower lifetime costs. I want to make sure I have those costs that every company has to deal with, the equipment, the utilities, the building, everything that a company has to deal with. I want those to get as cheap as possible. I don't want to lose quality over it, but I do want them to be cheap, as those do eat into the bottom line. I do want to provide quality for a better price. So by cutting down on the costs, by cutting down on the price, will it reflect good quality still? That is my goal. And then lastly, I want to improve based on my employee and my customer feedback. I want to make sure that I am improving period by period by listening to what customers want and by how the employees think of our company. And those are going to be my overall goals during this. So again, my objectives: increase sales, increase my gross margin, all the margins, so gross margin, operating income margin, and my bottom line, my net income. And then I want to have a good reputation with employees and with customers. I want to be able to hire the best employees. I want them to like working for us. And I want our customers to return. I want to have the retention. I want to find new employees continuously. I also want to provide quality at a cheap price. I don't want people coming to us because they think it's the dollar store for car parts. I want them coming to us because they know that they can make a car or they can fix a car slightly cheaper, but it'll last just as long. And so that will be the objectives that I work to select here in these next few slides. Okay, so for our first objectives with the financial, we have all these financial objectives that we can reach. We can maximize dividends, we can improve our gross margin. Again, we will probably select that one. We can even increase earnings per share and asset turnover. These are metrics that, based on what we're going for, is going to be very important. And so, like I said, I want to increase my gross margin, my operating income margin, and my sales. So we are going to quickly select those. And the nice thing about having done the simulation, I screen recorded it. I was able to grab screenshots the whole way through, just in case I did not have that option later. So I wanted to make sure I got everything so it could flow and you could follow the logic, and I can explain it as we go. So with these, now we need to pick the customer, internal process, and the learning and growth objectives that will build my financial objectives and work towards those overall goals. So with the customer goals, again, we want to retain customers. We want them to be satisfied. We want to build a connection with them and build that rapport as a good quality but low price. And so we're going to do that by getting competitive price for our customers improving customer
Are you
satisfaction,
sure about that?
increasing financial
Are
ties
you
with
sure about
customers,
that?
and getting a reputation as a low-cost supplier. And those things should bring about good things for our customers in terms of seeing, hey, this supplier, really good cost. They work with us, we work with them. We're going to be able to provide sales, deals, price protection, return of items. Those things will come later on, but those are the kind of things that we're hoping to build with our customer. Next is going to be our internal process. And so within our internal process, this is how we are going to become better. Structurally, we are going to have better machines, we're going to have better technology, we're going to have better suppliers, things like that. And so we're going to first go and develop products with low cost. So whether that be we just find a machine that can do it cheaper, we find different products to use. Instead of metal, it might be plastic, things like that. We're also going to maximize the use of a customer information feedback system. With this, it will allow our customers to give us feedback, what's going wrong, what's going good, and how can we improve. And then we want to reduce our administrative and our overhead costs. These are costs that are going to eat up our bottom line because we have expensive buildings, expensive equipment, and expensive people to pay. You know, we've got all the administration we got to pay for. We need those costs to go down as much as possible. So by doing that, we'll also be able to hopefully better our prices in the future. And then lastly, it's going to be our learning and growth objectives. So we're going to align our employees with our balanced scorecard. We're going to enhance our reputation as an employer, and we're going to enhance infrastructure for collaboration, low-cost sourcing employee skills, quality of suppliers, and make quality a priority for all employees. The goal here is to make quality a focus, both in our products and in our employees. Without good employees, we're going to have bad products. We're going to have people constantly leaving. We're going to have massive turnover, and we're never going to get consistent. And so with consistency, we will build better, consistent quality products. Okay, so period 1. So we're going to see kind of a couple periods at the beginning of some real changes, and then see at the end how it affects us. So period 1 for our customer, we want to have that goal sharing initiative with the customer. We want to show our customer how we're going to work to bring our goals as a company to increase sales, gross margin, those things, right? And how we're going to connect it with our key customers. Again, that could be cutting prices. That could be giving out sales and deals constantly, things like that. Then we're going to have our customer program dedicated investments. So we're going to make sure that we have specialized plant and equipment, that we increase financial commitments, and that we're going to give the volume and price protection to our customers. So they're not going to see empty shelves. They're not going to be worried that our prices are going to constantly fluctuate and jump around. We are going to be a stationary company and stagnant with that. As well as customer satisfaction promotions. I said it earlier, we're going to run sales promotions, work with groups and things like that to make sure that our customers can get some good prices throughout. And then low price trade marketing program. Again, we're going to work really hard with our PR and sales team and even marketing to work with businesses and to work to bring about low price bids for projects. And so we really want to work on the economy segment with our customers. And then lastly, we're going to have new technology customer trade show. This is going to allow us to bring new products and technologies and show what we can do for the future. All right, next we're going to do our internal process initiatives. That's going to be our BSC budgeting, our administrative outsourcing program, and our customer feedback data capture project, and our target costing program. So administrative outsourcing, we're going to outsource a lot of administrative work. Makes it cheaper for us. BSC budgeting, we're going to make sure that we budget according to our balanced scorecard. Customer feedback data capture project, we're going to make sure that our customers are able to give feedback in our program that we can see, that we can rely on and look at to improve, that will also kind of show our objectives as a company. And then our target costing program is going to show what our target costs are. How are we going to minimize those? as we go about through our years. And then learning and growth is going to be our last initiative selected for period 1. So we're going to have a balanced scorecard communication program. We're going to have our employee recruiting initiatives, low-cost sourcing training, quality awareness internal communication program, and quality sourcing training. Those things are going to be key. We need our employees and our customers to understand our balanced scorecard. We need to recruit the best employees. We need to find the lowest costs that we can, and we need our employees to understand how to find it. Not just top management, but everyone at the level that can help to find lower costs. We also need to make sure that everyone understands that quality is our focus. And so we're going to have these trainings and how to find good products and good suppliers for that. So with these and our total quality management, I apologize. Again, another focused one on training. These things will be key for us in the future. All right, so here are our metrics and how they performed over the years. So our gross margin, our operating income margin, both went down significantly. So that's not very good. We're going to have to watch that. But we also didn't grab anything to lower our overhead costs. So that's what we'll have to change. However, our sales did go up, so that's really good. The rest of our metrics are trending in the direction that we want them to go, except for our learning and growth initiatives, ML8, ML9, and ML10. I will talk about those a little bit later, but those are ones that we accidentally grabbed, and I didn't mean to have those objectives, and therefore I had to build initiatives for those. So we're going to have to play catch up the rest of this game to make up for the fact that we have wrong objectives, but now we have to play with them. We have to incorporate them into our system. And so we must move forward. So selecting our initiatives for period 2, we have to take that into account. So now we've got to work on getting our supplier quality data feedback program in and removing our quality awareness internal communication program. By doing this, we're going to see a great effect on our metrics for period 2. We're also going to remove our customer feedback data capture project, and we're going to put it towards plant reduce, reuse, recycle program. That's going to reduce those overhead costs. So by doing that, we're going to hope to see better margins and a lot more growth there, but then also that learning and growth change. So here we can see, yes, our ML10, the suppliers with high quality A rating, it did go up significantly. And then our margins, they did improve pretty significantly, nice. Up by 1% for operating income, and then gross margin by almost 0.4%. So we'll move pretty quickly through these, as every decision does not super matter, but we're going to need to grab the collaborative R&D systems. And by doing this, we will be able to not only lose something, but now we're going to work on our ML8, our latest sharing systems. We need to increase that. I cannot forget about an objective, and so we have to work with what we chose. And so as we're going through, we're just kind of making decisions, trying to keep the rest of our information that for those objectives as best as possible, while also meeting what we needed for the other programs. And so our objectives, our core objectives that we really wanted, are going to stay. And then the ones that are doing really well because we have a lot of initiatives in them, those are going to pretty much kind of cycle out as we try to fix ML8, ML9, and ML10 in that learning and growth process. So here, again, drop in the collaborative system, bringing back a balanced scorecard communication, the total quality management. We need our quality to go back up. So we cannot leave that for too long. So here we see again, ML9 has still not been worked on, and now our 90% quality awareness quiz is dropping. That is not good. We need our employees to score us much higher, and we just need more employees to score us that high. And so we need to start making some changes here in period 5 for that. So here we're going to work on procurement, professional recruiting, and quality awareness, internal communication. Those, by removing total quality management, should help us to work on that ML8, ML9 section, as well as give our employees a little bit more to look forward to. And here we see that we have taken away all the exclamation points. There's no more warnings. We're kind of in the green right now. But again, by taking away those other systems and those other initiatives, we have really hurt ourselves. So after period 5, we just resend it with period 6. We did not make any changes, nor did we make any period changes for 7. We really wanted to just build our bottom line, try to get those other metrics to really increase and to go up, because we really need those to be a solid foundation. That way, in period 8, we can make the last changes we need to fix something like MP13, the customers and feedback data capture project. We have not had that in a while. Let's bring that back. So we're going to remove the low price trade marketing program to bring in our internal process initiative. So with the $1 million from there, plus the target costing program being removed down below, that creates $2 million to be able to add our customer feedback data capture project again. And then by removing BSC budgeting, we can create $1 million plus our balanced scorecard communication program and our low-cost sourcing training. We can bring in our collaborative systems. That will allow us again to fix that objective, to bring that back up, to show our purchasers later on that we are really trying to be a good company looking to the future. How do we do? Sale price, not very good. My sale price has not been that low since period 4. It should have been much, much higher. And by choosing those wrong objectives, it really affected us in the way that we now had to play catch up. We had to play that game of, well, I suppose that we got to get those initiatives. We have to work towards these metrics that we don't care for. We shouldn't have cared about a supplier with quality rating. We're not a luxury brand. We also put a lot of objectives towards our customer when realistically that's more of that luxury segment. Customers aren't involved in products that are cheaper. They're more so just, thank you for being cheap, we're going to buy you anyway. We don't need to give a lot of input. However, how do we perform? Gross margin. Besides that dip, we did really good to increase it every year, but it still showed a lack of reduction in cost to produce. Even though it got slightly better, we never got above our initial starting point. Operating margin, we had a huge dip because we forgot to take away overhead costs. But in period 6, we finally surpassed our starting point, and in the last 3 periods, we were able to soar above it, but not as high as I wanted it to go. Sales saved us. If sales ever dipped, decreased, plateaued, we would have gone into a net loss for more than just the first 2 years, and that would have been awful. I would have hated to see multiple years of a net loss. So although the financials looked really promising, there's a lag. These are metrics that are going to take time to grow based on the decisions we make. And very rarely will we actually see every strategy we make and every choice we make be affected in a way that we can really see. And so here's a final look at all the metrics if you just wanted to look at it all together. We ended with no exclamation points, no warnings and errors. So that's really good. However, just because we don't have an error doesn't mean there's not a problem. And again, those objectives that we chose ignorantly in the beginning that we didn't mean to grab really affected us. It's okay in the long run, but truly, realistically, I wish that we did not grab those. I just didn't mean to select them. And so because of that, we had to bring in initiatives that would aim for those objectives, because if it was a real company, the board of directors would have fired me if I had objectives that realistically we never aimed for, that we never tried to work on. And then also, our objectives didn't even line up with our company policy, with our overall company strategy. So there's some problems there too. But overall, I learned a lot, and understanding some of those objectives and the initiatives and what really they tied to and how they were going to work. If I had gotten a little bit more time and been able to find a few more resources on what exactly all of those were, I probably would have done better. But trying to go off of the 4 practice rounds plus whatever research I could find with videos and other readings, I had to do what I could. And I made some ignorant choices, and it really hurt. And it made our selling price really low. Again, I would not add so many customer feedback, so many customer satisfaction objectives in there. I also would not try to put so much into quality. Those ones really are more geared towards luxury products, and that wasn't us. We're economy. We are trying to get you the best bang for your buck that you can. And so we're not going to go into R&D. We're not going to go into the best equipment possible. We're also not going to put a lot of money into figuring out what our customer wants. We know what our customer wants. They want cheaper prices. With that, I want to conclude. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for being here to listen to my strategy simulation of the balanced scorecard. Thank you.